Thanks for chilling with CuZo. Don't really got too much going on. But damn, the Bucks look like shit in them throwbacks, huh? the game where you supposed to get all the powers, man. Throwback jerseys, it's hard. But there seemed to be more to the Kai and Bruce beef. I see more into that. Hold on. I mean, him crashing out like that was kind of crazy. And then Kai being a good friend, you know what I'm saying? Even congratulated you on your new shit. But yet you still choose to talk about it, man. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Them haters be closer than you think. You ain't even got to go out and look for them. Your favorite though. You would play off the stupid. That's tough.
Everyone was right about Bruce dropping him off, including DDG. The other day, I made a video about Bruce dropping him off, basically dissing all his friends to his mods behind their backs in whatever group chat that he had. Since then, Kai Cenat has responded in a crazy tirade, Your Rage has responded, and everyone's favorite YouTube villain, DDG. Now, for everyone saying that my last video was pretty late, at the time of me recording that video, and the video is doing really well, by the way, I appreciate y'all. Every person that I included in this video had not yet responded. I like to let things play out a bit and not just drop like 30 videos on one subject, and being first to cover something is not always beneficial. You already know how we do over here. And we're going to talk about how this situation was basically foreshadowed by another popular streamer. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure you go watch it. And without further ado, let's get into the video. The first person that responded to everything was Kai Cenat. Now, for Kai's response, he basically tells Bruce he needs to go to therapy, talks about the CSGO situation, shows the chat that Bruce basically sent him an essay saying he was sorry for the situation before with DYK, and turned around and still did what he did behind the scenes, and some other things that I'm going to let you see for yourself.
The shit that's killing me though, chat, this nigga is saying all this shit after the nigga done text me a whole paragraph essay of apologizing for what he did already. Nigga, I have a whole essay of him apologizing, and his pride is so big that he wouldn't go on stream and say, oh yeah, I apologize to Kai. If you watch Bruce, he'll say, y'all don't gotta know if y'all apologize or not. The nigga sent me an essay. That's how you feeling. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I really think that nigga really going through some shit, bro. I swear to God, you need to go to therapy if that's how you feeling, bro. You need to go on that track hawk, hit 100 on the gas, straight to therapy. Tell the nigga or what the fuck you're going to, bro. That's what you need to do, gang. You need to do that, bro. Because
he a real friend for suggesting therapy instead of just trying to go tit for tat and try to, you know what I'm saying, be on that action. But still, like I said, you ain't gotta search for haters. They be closer than you think.
I don't respect that at all, bro. You telling me shit is old, nigga? The shit is well damn near after the apology, bro. That shit not cool. I'ma treat this shit as if anybody would do this to me. And I don't want to be your friend no more. I don't want to do shit with you no more. I don't want to be associated with you no more. I don't give a what you got going on. Because it is too dangerous to have a nigga like that in my circle. One day smiling, next time you in your phone gossiping to your top mods about what you're doing. And I condemn the nigga who leaked that shit. Now Kyle playing CS. LOL, motherfuckers are dick riders. First of all, nigga, I'm not even good at that game. That's just trash. I went on there literally to gamble open cases like my chat wanted me to do, okay? All right? Second of all of that, why the is niggas going in a group chat and saying little shit like that about me, though? I'm not even worried about the nigga. Why the are you even saying that? Like, that shit is on some, girl type, petty type shit. Like, I don't know when the niggas start doing that, but that shit not even cool. Especially coming from a nigga who keep talking about some, bro, if I got a problem with anybody, I'll call them. I'll ring their phone up. And that's it. I'm good off that. Anybody else that he said something about, I can't talk to them. I can't speak on them. I can speak on me. I wish the best for Bruce. I wish for whatever he got going on. I just don't want to be in that circle. We don't. It's not even on no hot shit, no beef shit. No, nigga, you do good, I'm gonna do good. That's it.
I'm not gonna lie, Kai basically cooked this nigga, man. I'm not even gonna lie. It's nothing more to say about that. Let's get into the next thing. Now, Your Rage is piggybacking off of Kai. I'm sure that they talked about the situation, saying that Bruce needs to go to therapy, and says that Bruce has two sides to him. One side that you want to be around and is a good friend, and another side that's just super negative.
And
Kai said it perfectly yesterday. My dog need therapy, Gary. Half of Bruce is like the coolest, most real nigga. Like, I just want to be around that nigga. And there's another half sometimes that's just negative. Negative. Like, it's not new to me. It's Bruce. Bruce talk shit, but I ain't think he would talk shit on me. Because I ain't never talked shit on this nigga in my life. And I know y'all think this is about to be an evisceration. Y'all want me to, like, end this nigga? Bro, you gotta understand, this was my dog for years, my nigga. You're not some random bitch that I eviscerated on YouTube.
Deep.
You're not no pretty Fredo-ass nigga. I know this nigga for years. I tell this nigga everything in my life. You understand me? Y'all don't know Bruce, okay? I know y'all say the money changed him. I miss the old Bruce. I miss the old house Bruce. I mean, he's always been like this, nigga. It's just sad because right before all this shit dropped, chat, I was on the phone with this nigga for the first time in months. And we was talking. And he was telling me, Rage, I'm not the same person. I've changed. I'm changing. This, and the third. I actually believe, like, he's starting to, like, I know, oh, you're just falling for it. Yeah. But I truly believe him because he has, don't let this nigga tell you nothing, bros. You have an ego of death. You have one of the biggest egos on. That's why when you was beefing with DDG and I said, y'all the same people, y'all both have ego. You have an ego. It just is what it is. Accept it. But for him to say, like, he's working on his flaws and shit, that kind of made me, that's like, yo, that kind of made me happy. Like, he was on the phone. I'm like, damn, man.
Duke Dennis and Phantom has some words to say about the situation as well. I'm gonna let you hear that without really doing all this explaining.
He was talking shit to some that's obviously not his friends. I mean, I'm not saying that Kai his friend either, but and then leaked it. Now you in deep shit, buddy. Now you look fake. Now you look weird. Now you look like you hating, which you probably not hating because Bruce don't got a reason to hate on nobody. Bruce is a young, black, successful nigga with a whole bunch of money, bro. Beautiful girlfriend. He can travel the world. He got the cars of his dreams. He be putting that shit on. Jewelry. He was talking shit to the wrong nigga, bro. And now it looked like you a hating ass, weird ass, lame ass. They're not their own business, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look, whether he hating or not, ain't none of my business. I could give a fuck less. But my feelings a little hurt, bro. Cause if he had an issue with AMP, then he definitely could have called me. He could have called Phantom. He could have called Kyle.
It almost looked like he was saying like AMP scams they are supporters. You know what I'm saying? I seen that. I ain't like that.
Damn, son.
Because we ain't never did no shit like that. Usually when shit like that is like so out the way, I don't really pay mine because it's cap. Like everybody done got their shit, bro. Maybe you got your shit a little late, but you got your shit.
Now we're gonna get into DDG's response, and I'm surprised he didn't do any crazy trolling. He basically said, "I told you so," and we've seen this all before. And he reacts to Kai's clip, saying some things, and I'm gonna let you hear it for yourself.
I'm not gonna come on here and be negative. That's not what I'm gonna do, bro. I'm not gonna come on here and be negative. I don't want to come on here and be negative because I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't think about the nigga. Like, I'm the type of dude, bro. I get over stuff within 48 hours. I don't even think I'd text my girl no. Even if we arguing, I wouldn't even text my girl nothing crazy like that. That's wild. That's not an essay, bro. That's a 5-page book. What? Yeah. When I tell y'all, bro, I have never ever in my life seen this man outside, bro. This man does not leave the house, but he will get, just like he's showing you, he texted him a whole paragraph and then he get online and he act all tough, bro. I have never ever seen this outside, bro. I guarantee you, whenever he get on stream, bro, whenever he get back on stream and he address the situation, he gonna act so tough, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro, I don't even think about dog, but it's something about internet beefing with me, bro. It's a different type of internet beef. I'm not even I'm 4-0, bro. Y'all can't tell me I ain't, bro. I don't lose.
Let's transition a bit. A few months ago, when Bruce joined Kick, he was going off on everybody, including a streamer by the name of Mizkif. He tells Mizkif to delete himself and read some text messages where Mizkif says that Bruce was secretly hating on Kai. Bruce looked pretty confused about that. And on the stream, you don't really peep it that much because he's going off about other things. But, you know, it's a quick little clip. I'm going to let you see for yourself.
After that, he just texted me a long paragraph talking about Castanet, trying to gaslight me, saying, you literally on him all day and hate his guts. hate his guts.
This is some crazy foreshadowing for the events that happen down the line where Bruce is going off on everybody and the stuff that's happening right now. Like, who would have thought? Like, a lot of people were just right about this. If you enjoyed the video, man, make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. It's Fargo, and I'm out, man.
Nah, man, Bruce.
Bruce Drop Him Off does not care about your opinion. While I was editing my last video, Bruce Drop Him Off finally responded to all the criticism online about him getting exposed for dissing all his friends. And it was a bunch of yapping, I'll be honest. This will be my last part on this situation if all parties stay true to them quote-unquote not caring about what the other side is doing. But we'll see. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button. Help me hit 40K so I can just stop speaking about it, man. Let's get into the video. As for Bruce's response, he responded exactly how I expected, admitting it was him in those messages and standing on everything he said. I'll let you see it for yourself.
It was supposed to be a day for this to come. I'm not mad at it. You know, those messages were me. Indeed were me. I take full accountability for all of those. I don't know. Some of those might be Photoshopped now by now, but majority of that was 100% me. Hurt people and say hurtful things. And at the time of those things where they were said, I can definitely say from the actions of other people behind closed doors, I was hurt. If you can match the, you know, the context up with the dates and everything and how I was talking, majority of the was like 2 months ago, summertime, but that doesn't change the fact that it was said. And me, I'm telling you, I don't take back any of the things that I said. I'm in the wrong 100%. Now, do I expect you guys to with me? Do I expect to be friends with any of you? I'd rather much not very so. I haven't been friends with these people in a long time, and I've separated myself from those people since. So I don't expect nobody to fuck with me. To be honest, if you don't mess with me, I don't really care. I don't care to be liked. I'm already loved. And that's all that matters to me. So the people feelings that I hurt, I apologize. I already did apologize. I'm more so apologizing to my core community because I know y'all sick and tired of defending this fat nose. You feel me? Like, but don't even think y'all got to do that, man. The only thing I need is God, and we all do. Oh, we very much all do.
Another interesting moment around the part where he was saying fuck everybody is when he almost said Kai's name by accident before catching himself.
Fuck the industry. Fuck. I don't.
For those who don't know, what Bruce did is called a Freudian slip, an unintentional action that reveals underlying beliefs, emotions, or motives. So this essentially confirms that, as we all probably knew, Bruce really doesn't like Kai for whatever reason. Some of y'all may say he meant to say the word collab instead of Kai, but a few seconds later, he said he doesn't care about collabs. So why would he stop himself from saying collab?
Need, in the most humblest way possible, my Lord and Savior. I don't need nobody. I don't need no collab. I don't need no nigga naming my videos. I don't need none. I'm blessed to have what I have, and I'm cherishing that, and I've been cherished that. So I don't need shit. Fuck the industry. I don't really care don't stop. Don't. If it's over because I'm not friends with certain niggas, then let it be over in your head, because I'm still up in this shit throughout the whole year. I swear to God.
Bruce dropped 2 tweets on his main and burner account, with the first one saying, DEO for life. What you think the for life mean? Crazy. And I don't care to be liked. We loved over here. Stay blessed. The comments are filled with DEO diehards and random folks still cooking him about sending Kai that essay and all the stuff that he did. But through all these, I saw an interesting tweet about how he handled the situation. The tweet is from someone by the name of Jumpy Guy Vaughn that says, bro, I've been saying this. All you got to do when you finna get canceled or have your back against the wall, just double down. They can't say shit. Yeah, I said it. So what? And the original tweet that he responded to is from my nigga Stressing. It says, did this nigga clutch a 3-1? Left my ass off. That really is interesting though. I don't really care for like the cancel culture or whatever. When I make these videos and I make these titles, it's just for YouTube, man. Like, it's literally clickbait. But it's not like bad clickbait. It's good clickbait. So if I clickbait you and you watch the video, if I say, yo, this may be the end of Bruce Drop Him Off, it's because somebody said, yo, is this gonna end his career? What's happening? Or is it the end of Fredo? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. If I make videos like that, it's because somebody is talking about it. Multiple people are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, don't think I'm actually trying to slander people or whatever. I'm gonna actually give you my opinion in the video. Like, I'm never gonna sit here and make a video just to get clicks. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as somebody click on, they see his bullshit, they click it off. So obviously you're gonna have to actually make a real video. That's how YouTube works. But enough of that yapping. When it comes to cancel culture, all you have to do is two things. One, you don't respond. Or two, you just stand on it. Because what are they gonna do? Just keep cooking you the same way they cooking you? That's free game for y'all. As for the people that still support Bruce, I have zero issues with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, that's your favorite streamer, whatever, support him. That's your prerogative. But my confusion is why he acted that way towards people he called his friends to his stream and stuff like that. It just doesn't make any sense, man. Like, y'all both in the same position, or y'all all in the same position, basically. And yeah, it's just kind of confusing to me. Who knows? But let me know what you think about this whole entire situation in the comments.
That nigga crashed. That nigga crashed. Oh, he gonna be straight, but still, like, that's kind of crazy.
Taiwan looks like they got some good East.
If I lived in Taipei, I'd be about 300 pounds because y'all got food everywhere. Starting in the train station, this is like a musubi taco. Then I also buy a cabbage bun and a pork bun. Wash it down with watermelon juice.
I like watermelon juice
and rolled ice cream, which was amazing. Now you know we gotta go to the night market. Started with a little sausage, and then we moved on to crispy pork belly.
Oh my god, word to that shit look dumb good. Word on that shit look mad good, bro.
And then finish it off with a
That shit look good
classic
too.
strawberry pocky. Now we're ready to go home, knock out, and do it all again tomorrow.
Oh my god, do it all again tomorrow. I'm finna be besties with that nigga, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry. I might have sent a voice note to Ray real quick. Yo, you know about a spot called Taipei City in Taiwan? Taipei. We gotta go over there, bro. We gotta get something to eat, bro. We gotta just walk through that shit and just devour everything we see. Right? Let me know if you ever heard about that spot in Taiwan. It's called Taipei City.
Hey,
Taiwan looks like
the one that was barking like a dog.
Pizza and chicken tikka masala and like eat them together.
Okay, so I have chicken tikka masala and I have a box of pizza here. Now, he was saying for the best combination, it'd be pizza with Alfredo sauce, put chicken tikka masala on top, and if you have garlic sauce or maybe even garlic powder, put that on top before you eat it. So I'm going to give it a try. Okay, we got our pizza and the tikka masala. Oh, that smells so good. Okay, I'm going to put that right on here over the pizza, and then we'll put some garlic salt on it. All right, let's give it a try. Oh my goodness. This is my third piece of pizza. I can't stop eating it. Yeah, ran into an issue. I ran out of pizza. That was good. That was too good. I can't eat pizza the same way again. Tikka masala is delicious. I really can't.
tikka masala do slap.
At home, and his urge to make audiences laugh couldn't be ignored as he dropped out of college in 1995 to move to Los Angeles, California. There's an undeniable sincerity that emanates from Jimmy Fallon. He's not just a talk show host, he's a friend you've known for years, inviting you into his world with open arms. Since his late night debut in 2009, Jimmy has almost unanimously been loved by fans and celebrities, but not anymore. The people closest to Jimmy, the ones he relies on the most, have come forward to reveal that his actual character behind the scenes is the total opposite of lovable and genuine. Erratic behavior, outbursts, intimidation, avoid eye contact. Nobody told Jimmy no. These quotes don't sound like the unapologetically joyful Tonight Show host we know, but these revelations might not be shocking to some. As many people have speculated, Jimmy's nice guy persona is entirely fake. More specifically, his fake laugh.
You can't
Jimmy.
Oh my God.
Jimmy will laugh at just about everything, to the point where he sounds like a programmed laugh track being controlled by a producer backstage.
If you think about embarrassment, scale of 1 to 10, okay. 1 is just like being a person walking down the street, and 10 is, for me, co-hosting the Oscars with James Franco.
Without letting Ann mention why this was embarrassing, Jimmy just bursts out into laughter when there was nothing funny about what she said.
And then he tries to connect my right foot to my left arm, and he's trying to connect them like this, and I'm in such pain. I go like that,
Yeah.
and his belly goes in my mouth.
Even Ryan Gosling looked at Jimmy confused as to why he was laughing so hard. They both play it off awkwardly because they quickly realize this is harmless and it only makes them look better or funnier. There's no point in calling him out, but Taylor Swift wasn't having it.
The VMAs are coming up August 24th, and they're saying, I heard that Taylor Swift will be performing. Can you confirm or deny?
I mean, we've had a really good time today.
Taylor?
See where I'm going with this at least. Nobody ever listens to me.
Oh my
Finish a
God.
thought.
Oh my God.
So what I was saying is
You're not even
that-
looking at me.
because I'm trying to think of what to say next.
If he isn't interrupting them with laughter, he is interrupting them with other pointless talking. Taylor Swift's frustration was a little more obvious than David Spade's.
Carson wasn't even the first one, but I squeaked on. You did stand up. When I did, I'll tell the story. When
David just gave him a little jab, and Jimmy knew he was wrong for interrupting the comedian, so he tried to make Dave look like the bad guy and walk off. This wasn't the first time Jimmy walked off set to avoid an awkward situation that he caused.
No, it's about how you can beat a human being down to.
Don't tell anyone. It's okay. Let them
Just see the movie.
Or not.
Or not. You know what the movie's about, kind of, right? Yeah, so you don't need me. You don't need me.
No, do it. It was
you
nice.
don't need
You
me.
were doing it.
No
Do it. You should
one
do it.
needs
No.
me. It's fine. Okay. Let's go.
No, come back. Come on, man.
This is a safe way to play off his awkward interruptions because no host would ever walk.
I didn't know Jimmy do stuff like that though. That's kind of, you can clip things and make things look kind of weird, but yeah, that's kind of.
Walk off their own show for a tiny error. Often it seems like Jimmy has nothing substantial to add to the conversation, but feels the need to interrupt or explode with laughter. The internet has memed Jimmy's antics into oblivion. While some say he has a huge ego and wants more spotlight for himself, it seems like he does this to maintain control. He fears dead air, a boring story, or an unfunny joke, so he jabs his way into the conversations with quick jokes or laughs in an attempt to make sure the audience is engaged, but then it ends up doing the opposite. I mean, every time a guest is talking, he leans in, stares at them intensely, maybe reaches his arm out, and is waiting for a split second to interrupt to make sure you are entertained. The other thing that agitates people is how he showers every single guest with compliments. You're my favorite, we love you, it's my favorite movie, my favorite album, as if celebrities need any more ego stroking. Jimmy's defenders think all this controversy is ridiculous. Should he not laugh? Just sit there and be awkward? His show is supposed to be fun. He just wants his guests to be relaxed and confident in front of a live audience. This can definitely explain his overreactions to guests winning his minigames.
Sounds like a poodle.
Yeah.
A labradoodle.
Now, it seems ridiculous to nitpick this from Jimmy because fake reactions have been a crucial part of TV and YouTube forever. David Dobrik, KSI, and Joe Rogan have been large contributors to the fake laughter, fake reaction epidemic.
Okay. And if you think there is, it's very like, I know everything. I kind of do agree with a lot of what he says.
Jimmy is a people pleaser and just wants to make everyone comfortable, bless his heart. That laugh does the opposite to me. It feels like he's hiding something. And Jimmy may be hiding something, a lifetime of alcoholism. And the reason he began drinking may shock you. But first, a word from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Get in on the NFL action with their Pick'em game. All you have to do is pick whether your player will have a higher or lower stat total for Week 7 of the NFL season to win big. Pick between 2 and 5 players to build a Pick'em entry. Underdog is available in 30-plus states and Canada, including California, Texas, and Florida. Have received Justin Max to promo code Patrick. Your first deposit. Underdog is giving yard to take it. The program had been running to win some money. As a teenager, Jimmy was obsessed with Saturday Night Live. The program had been running for nearly 2 decades, and Jimmy was fully immersed, insisting on watching the program alone in pure silence because he hated unnecessary commentary from others. Although he could only see the clean parts his parents taped for him, Jimmy didn't miss a single sketch or punchline and remained devoted to learning as much as possible. Ironically, his parents didn't want him watching adult humor sketches, but they would let him drink alcohol while watching. As long as I wasn't doing anything at night, I'd just sit by myself myself, and I would have a 6-pack of Pabst. I don't know if I made it all the way through the 6, but I'd just sit there and watch the show and tape it. He and his sister Gloria reenacted sketches with friends before Jimmy discovered a talent for impressions, often impersonating actor James Cagney and comedian Dana Carvey. I was one of those kids who, if I hung around another kid for an hour, I was that kid. Fallon said, it was weird. I'd come home and I'd do his type of humor, his type of mannerisms. And my mom would say, okay, Joey, you want dinner now? Because I'd be acting like Joey Gonzalez. From a young age, Jimmy was an imitator, instinctively copying and mimicking things that he thought were funny instead of having the drive to produce his own material, which was an early sign of being the perfect late-night television host. Through hours of meticulously studying various comedy and musical routines, Fallon continued working on his craft and established himself as a performer at Saugerties High School, appearing in most stage productions. It was a rush. I think it was the rush of getting a reaction. Maybe it's acceptance. Maybe it's a thing where you're pleasing somebody. I want to be friends with everybody. And if you make a joke and everyone laughs, you're like, that's it. I scored. That's what I thought making a friend was. You just feel like people liked you. So maybe it was that. Acceptance. It seems like Jimmy's people-pleaser mentality has been in full effect since his youth. His obsession with Saturday Night Live carried on throughout his time at St. Rose College in New York, skipping parties and events so that he could watch SNL as it aired. Fallon lived for the weekends when he would regularly board buses from his aunt's house in Fort Hamilton to perform stand-up comedy sets at Caroline's on Broadway and Times Square. On stage is where Jimmy felt most at home, and his urge to make audiences laugh couldn't be ignored as he dropped out of college in 1995 to move to Los Angeles, California to pursue comedy full-time. He secured a manager who got him very minor roles in comedy films like Father's Day and television sitcoms like Spin City. But it didn't matter because his dream wasn't to become an actor. Jimmy remained fixated on joining Saturday Night Live. After 2 years of working on his sketch comedy and improv skills with the Groundlings, he took a leap of faith and auditioned for SNL, but bombed. This career setback could have killed his dreams as a comedian altogether, but his obsession with SNL wouldn't let him give up. When he landed a small role on a Warner Brothers sitcom, Fallon negotiated a clause in his contract that would release him if he got on SNL. The producers agreed only because they thought it would never happen. This was my ultimate goal. If I ever cut into a birthday cake and made a wish, I would wish to be on SNL. If I threw a coin into a fountain, I would wish to be on SNL. If I saw a shooting star, I would wish to be on SNL. It's crazy. I had no other plan. I didn't have friends. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have anything going on. I had my career. That was it. SNL is notorious for its difficult audition stage. The series creator, Lorne Michaels, almost never laughed during auditions, and it would take a special talent to grab his attention. Fallon recalls 3 different people warning him about Lorne's lack of laughter, but he learned a lot from his first catastrophic performance, and his second audition, he would come prepared with nothing but himself and his impressions, something that he perfected over time. Jimmy marched on that stage, performing a celebrity walkathon with impressions of Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Bill Cosby, and Adam Sandler. To his surprise, Michaels and other executives could not stop laughing. I was in the room that day, says former SNL writer Tina Fey. He's one of 2 people I've ever seen who was completely ready to be on the show. Kristen Wiig is the other one. And Jimmy was ready like if there had been a show to do that night. Lorne Michaels informed Jimmy that his dreams were now a reality. He was going to be a cast member of Saturday Night Live. All Jimmy could do was look at Michaels and tell him, I'm going to make you proud. He debuted beside the cast of SNL as a featured player during its 24th season in September 1998. Fallon established himself as a household name overnight, becoming known for his spot-on impressions of various celebrities and public figures. While he was living out his dream, Jimmy was also developing a scary addiction that would come back to haunt him decades later. During their time at SNL, Fallon and cast member Horatio Sanz often drank together. Sanz has described himself and Fallon as super-functioning alcoholics and stated that kind of goes hand in hand with SNL. Some kind of substance abuse issues because it's so stressful you could easily find yourself blowing off steam a lot. Sands recounted how he and Fallon got in a couple of brawls. I've seen Jimmy clock a few people, he said. Jimmy could fight. I don't know where he learned, but he definitely scrapped with the best of them. Jimmy working in a high-stress environment and abusing his health to cope is potential foreshadowing for the work environment he would create on his own show. He always planned to leave Saturday Night Live after 3 seasons. However, Lorne Michaels offered him a role on Weekend Update with Tina Fey, which is essentially the comedic news section that SNL covers every week. Unfortunately, Jimmy also developed a negative reputation on SNL as somebody who can't hold in his laughter. At first, it was an innocent mistake that began in the famous More Cowbell sketch, when Will Ferrell wore a tight shirt that caused Fallon to break character. Every cast member was laughing during this skit because, well, It was hilarious. But that moment opened a revolving door of cast members intentionally trying to get Jimmy to break character, and he did break character. A lot. Interrupting the punchlines and comedic timing by laughing and giggling. While some thought it was hilarious, others found it insensitive and believed he was attempting to steal their spotlight and make the sketches about himself. Lauren didn't like it. The writers didn't like it. I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I'm trying not to do it. But sometimes it just got insane. I couldn't hold it in. It was just so much fun. SNL has always tried to maintain the best of the best when it comes to comedic talent. Comedians laughing at their own jokes can sometimes be seen as unprofessional. In 2004, Jimmy decided to leave SNL and move into traditional acting. He signed a 2-movie deal with 20th Century Fox with the hopes of becoming a prominent star in the industry. The first was a lead role in the 2004 action comedy Taxi, alongside then rapper turned actor Queen Latifah. The other was the 2005 romantic comedy Fever Pitch, alongside Drew Barrymore. Both films received mixed reviews and had decent box office performance, but were not the first impression Jimmy Fallon wanted. With back-to-back disappointments, film offers rapidly decreased as studio executives grew hesitant to feature Fallon in future projects. He experienced what he has deemed a lost period, characterized by a larger-than-usual alcohol consumption and uncertainty about his future career choices. I was probably drinking more than I should have been drinking, he confessed. It wasn't like sitting and watching old tapes of me on SNL with the screen flickering in front of me. I was like, I can't figure out what I want to do. Fortunately for Fallon, the man who gave him his dream job at SNL was about to save him once again, as the host of Late Night had an opening in 2009 after Conan O'Brien was transitioning to The Tonight Show. But Jimmy didn't make the best first impression. Many quickly realized that Jimmy wasn't edgy or dark enough for late night comedy. GQ claimed Jimmy was too cute for late night audiences used to hanging out with the snarky, cool crowd, suggesting he was too corny. Yeah, the cool crowd was always beyond my grasp, he admitted. Late Night with Jimmy Fallon premiered on NBC in early March 2009. The series immediately outperformed CBS's The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson by 500,000 viewers. Fallon also garnered more viewers than his predecessor, Conan O'Brien. Late Night with Jimmy Fallon was one of the first late-night talk shows to embrace social media and use it as an integral part of the show's engagement with its audience. Jimmy was able to connect with the youth who weren't watching TV at midnight in 2012 by regular uploads to YouTube, particularly comedic sketches and challenges with their favorite celebrities.
I got these tickets to the One Direction concert.
Ew, I love One Direction. Do you have an extra ticket?
Yeah.
Many of these videos amassed millions of views, but it was nothing compared to the dominance he would have on The Tonight Show. In early 2014, Jimmy Fallon transitioned to NBC's The Tonight Show, where he had big shoes to fill. From Steve Allen to Jack Parr to the iconic Johnny Carson, who stamped the show's legacy for 30 years, then Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien, it was now Jimmy's job to lead the most popular late-night show of all time. He debuted to a staggering 11.3 million viewers, and despite all the alleged fake laughing, overreactions, interruptions, and being too corny, he dominated late-night television. The show averaged 3 to 4 million live concurrent viewers throughout the years, but also embraced social media with their YouTube channel that has amassed 30 million subscribers, with multiple videos in the hundreds of millions of views. A lot of Jimmy's segments mimic the format of YouTube challenges. Many of you have never even watched Late Night, but have seen tons of The Tonight Show's YouTube segments, such as Lip Sync Battle, Musical Impressions, and Egg Russian Roulette, where he and his guests would engage in playful competitions resulting in funny and often viral moments. His comedic sketches and style often mimicked SNL because of his obsession and Lorne Michaels' production. Jimmy is like the personification of a golden retriever, and America loved him. And although the late night host is a high profile and often rewarding role, the pressure can be severe. Late night hosts are expected to be funny and entertaining every night. The constant pressure to deliver humor can be mentally and emotionally taxing. Late night hosts must stay up to date with current events and pop culture trends to keep their material relevant, which requires continuous research and adaptability. The aspect of balancing multiple roles can also be demanding, as late night hosts are not just comedians, they are also producers, writers, and often performers in various sketches and segments. Coming up with fresh and original content night after night can be creatively exhausting, as hosts must continually innovate to keep their shows interesting. Meanwhile, late night shows are often live or recorded in front of a live audience. This leaves little room for mistakes, and hosts must be prepared to handle unexpected situations. Therefore, late night hosts are very much reliant on their staff to help with research, writing jokes and sketches, making sure there are as little errors as possible. These writers and employees are Jimmy's lifeline. There is no show without them, and he made a crucial error on May 1st, 2023.
I wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for my writers, and I support them all the way. They got to have a fair contract, and they got a lot of stuff to iron out, and hopefully they get it done.
If there is a strike, do you go dark?
If there's a strike, yeah, I think we will. Yeah, I think we'll go dark. Whatever I can do to support the guild. I am actually in the Writers Guild as well, so yeah, I couldn't do the show without them, and I support my whole staff.
Although Jimmy says he will support his writers no matter what, his staff says otherwise. As one of his employees took to Twitter to write, he wasn't even at the meeting this morning to tell us we won't get paid after this week. Jimmy Fallon, please support your staff. Had fun bowling with you last week, but a party won't pay my rent. I'm sure many of you have heard about the 5-month-long writers' strike in Hollywood that just ended, and the reason for the strike is quite simple. The Writers Guild of America is the joint efforts of 2 different American labor unions representing thousands of writers in film, television, radio, and online media. Writers are the backbone of Jimmy Fallon and all of Hollywood's content. Without them, there are no jokes, no scripts, no stories, nothing. Yet somehow, they are the least compensated, with most of them earning below the poverty line in salary. Writers make a bulk of their earnings through residuals, which is a percentage that gets paid out to them every time a movie or show is streamed or syndicated in the future. But Hollywood executives restructured the industry during the streaming era, so these writers get basically nothing after the content is uploaded. And the studios are profiting tens of billions, while the people who are actually creating the ideas from scratch are on food stamps. So Jimmy saying he supports his staff no matter what, but not increasing their salaries to a livable wage, had them pretty pissed off, which led to a Rolling Stone article that contacted over 50 Tonight Show employees revealing what Jimmy is really like behind the scenes. Although many praised Fallon for his immense talent and comedic gifts, nobody spoke on record or had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show. Interestingly enough, 3 employees who originally worked on late night claim a dramatic and ugly shift in working environment occurred once they transitioned to The Tonight Show. People that worked under them felt this pressure that if you made one mistake, you were gone and would be easily replaced. From 2014 to 2022, there were 9 different showrunners. This constant change in leadership gradually created a chaotic atmosphere among staffers who expressed their loss in faith in senior leadership. Nobody told Jimmy no. Everybody walked on eggshells, especially showrunners. Another former employee says, "You never know what Jimmy you were going to get and when he was going to throw a hissy fit." They described Jimmy's temperament, mood, and treatment of staffers as erratic. They suggested Jimmy Fallon was unpredictable, having witnessed him snap at crew members over the smallest things. They also claimed Fallon occasionally berated and belittled staffers out of frustration. 3 former employees said that he berated them in front of other colleagues and crew members. It was like, if Jimmy's in a bad mood, everyone's day is fucked. When something was wrong, we all knew how to behave afterwards, which was just sort of avoid eye contact and don't make another mistake. The article then dives into Jimmy's SNL skit in 2000 where he did an impression of Chris Rock while doing blackface. Jimmy apologized for this skit that resurfaced in 2020, and the article followed up this information with an employee alleging that the staff tried to sweep this controversy under the rug. A black employee claims that showrunner Granite Benderman kept asking them, "What is going on with your hair?" trying to paint the picture of a racist environment behind the scenes at The Tonight Show. Employees claim that they experienced deteriorating health effects due to the environment, hair thinning, extreme weight loss. Mentally, I was in the lowest place of my life. I didn't want to live anymore. One longtime employee says they never reported their issues to HR because early on in their tenure at the show, they saw colleagues of theirs attempt to speak to human resources representatives and subsequently got fired from the show. They don't protect us, the former staffer says. They don't do anything for us. Many of you watching have probably worked in a toxic environment and have experienced similar ramifications as these employees alleged, so you can easily see this being a reality for Jimmy's show. Others speculated that this is nothing more than a hit piece. Many think that Jimmy's short temper, erratic behavior, and need for nothing less than perfection is standard for someone putting on a show for millions and millions of people. They think most of the worst allegations are against the showrunners, and Jimmy has to take the blame since he is the boss. Most people wonder why someone wouldn't just get a new job if it was so bad. Then again, Jimmy did come from SNL, which was one of the most high-stress work environments that led to multiple employees suffering from substance abuse issues. So it's not that hard to believe that he could have created a similar environment thinking it's just show business. However, after Rolling Stone published the article, Fallon apologized to staff members in a Zoom call. "It's embarrassing, and I feel so bad," Fallon said, according to 2 people who were on the call. "Sorry if I embarrassed you and your family and friends. I feel so bad, I can't even tell you. We don't have the full apology, so we don't know if Jimmy's accepting blame for all of these allegations, for just a few, or if he is just following the command of his PR team to avoid the same outcome as Ellen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's an
that Ellen. I said Ellen. Ellen, one that's nicest, she pretends to be.
Let me know if you ever heard this. Look.
Sticking out your yeah
For the Rizzler, you're so skibbity, you're so phantom tax.
I just wanna be.
Fellas, when the last time? Okay, she doing something nice for her man. That's what's up.
Hold on.
We're going to Tijuana. What? Yeah.
Ooh.
We're at the border, babe. We're going to Tijuana.
He's Hispanic. She's taking him across the border.
We just crossed.
Ooh.
Like, do they have to check us or something? How does this work? I've never done this.
Oh, snap. This ain't right. This gotta be a prank. This gotta be a prank.
Let me know. Babe, we already crossed. I don't have no papers.
Ooh. Oh.
Guys.
Okay, she doing something nice for her man.
Oh. Hey, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my god. Why would you? I don't want to watch this. Let's get over with.
So just last week, we were talking about how Jada Pinkett Smith has her husband Will Smith down bad via her new book and autobiography, Worthy, that is set to come out very soon, where she professed her forever love for Tupac and posted a video of them dancing around to one of Will's biggest hits, proclaiming that their three souls were forever intertwined. And much like a music artist doing promo for a new album, Jada has been going around doing interviews to promote her tell-all book. And to me, the release of this book could really be the last straw for Will, as he has stood by this woman's side while she has made him look like a clown over and over and over again. He himself released a book about his life just last year, and he did not embarrass or expose her a single time within the hundreds of pages. If anything, I feel like he just propped her up and tried to make her look as good as possible. And so far, pretty much everything we know about her book has just been these very, very small excerpts, and Will is already getting crushed once again. So I'm sure there is much more dirty laundry to be spilled into these virtual streets.
That shit stank, don't it? Ugh.
And so in teasing this interview, the Today Show has been dropping a couple of bombs over the last couple of days. And this one really sent the internet into a frenzy, as Jada Pinkett Smith reveals that she and Will Smith have been separated since 2016, apparently.
That I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Nah, man. Going like this with the sound effect, talking about your divorce while you're smiling like an evil villain. It's just an insane way to act, especially knowing like the whole narrative surrounding their marriage at this point. It almost feels to me like in absolutely everything she does, not only does she not care about the way it's going to affect Will, but it's almost like at this point she gets off on embarrassing him.
This interview on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was taped a year after Will and Jada separated.
So how long have you guys been together?
23 years.
Wow. That's amazing. How do you keep it hot?
How do I keep it hot? You know,
By banging other dudes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm baffled, really.
Yeah, right. Over the next several years, Jada and Will kept up the appearance of a committed married couple. They even faced a scandal when Jada had what she called an entanglement with a family friend.
Yeah, a family friend who apparently was introduced to the family via her son. Can you guys imagine one of your parents being on that type of time? Like you introduce them to, you know, one of your friends, maybe somebody that you were working with, and then they end up having this whole relationship with them. They're sleeping together within your house. Like, I don't care how big your mansion is. He was still in your parents' bed with your mom.
Where your mom at? I guess my question is, I feel like you're a straight talker.
I am.
Except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
Doesn't make absolutely any sense. It's like telling someone, hey, I feel like you're a very honest person, except when you fucking lied. And also, I'm sorry, guys, but I just gotta do this.
Still trying to figure out between the two of us, how do we present that to people?
And I think some of you guys would be surprised that there's actually a lot of people out there who live this way. Like, it's like they haven't been married for years. There's no affection there. There's really no sense of romance. It's almost just like roommates living together. But these people remain married, whether it be, you know, for children, for financial reasons. And I've personally never really understood that. Like, I think that life is a little bit too short. And I could see that becoming very depressing. Like, day after day, you're still around this person who you used to share, like, obviously a love life with. And now that love is just completely gone. Like I said, it's almost like you're just roommates.
Jada says she considered a legal divorce, but could never go through with it.
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever. I just haven't been able to break that promise.
So it almost sounds to me like, based on her tone and everything that she said in this interview, that she really does not want to be with Will anymore. Like, to me, it's almost painting like if Will's like desperately hanging on to the relationship, hanging on to what they used to have. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a reason in my brain to act like I still love this man.
But you still live separately.
We live separately.
And part of me wonders if this is Jada's final attempt to just kind of set the record straight. I mean, obviously, it's been years of people saying that she was cheating on Will, and that basically she's a bad and embarrassing wife, and she's coming out to say, really, I'm not a wife at all. Me and this guy right here, like, we have not been together.
There are different stages in my marriage where Will and I decided we were not together. I was actually thinking about divorcing, separating. I mean, there have been several of those.
And it's interesting to me that when she's talking about this subject, she keeps talking about, I wanted a divorce. I was going to do this. I was going to do that. Like, I'm thinking within their relationship dynamic, she's just absolutely dominating this man. There was that video that leaked around a year ago that showed the way she kind of talks to him in private.
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me if you could film me.
Sam, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
I mean, Jada's kind of like a husband out here from the 1950s. Like, yeah, I'm going to stay with my poor wife, but I'm also going to run all around town.
Hold on, because something crazy just happened over here. No, that's crazy though.
Town. Not going to show her any love and affection while she tries to cling to my heart. And who gives a damn about how she feels? And so, of course, the whole separated since 2016 arc was kind of the big bombshell. But then this morning they put out the clip where she addresses Will slapping Chris at the Oscars, which at this point seems like it was at least like 5 years ago.
Will then went on a profane tirade warning Chris not to mention his wife's name. Jada couldn't believe what she was hearing.
what is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time.
Ooh.
I'm like, what is going on right
keep
now?
my wife's
name out of your
Yes,
mouth,
yes.
right?
So now Jada is saying, I didn't even want Will to do that shit. She is becoming more like the man in the relationship with every single interview. She's like, you need to sit your ass down and calm down. Like, have y'all ever been with a girl like that, or one of your boys have a girlfriend like that, where y'all try and go out and she's like trying to cause problems, get into fights with other girls, and you're gonna have to end up now fighting this group of guys that's with this girl? And you're like, dude, you need to calm your girlfriend down.
What viewers did not see at the time, while Oscar clips were being shown, was Chris Rock leaning over the stage to talk to Jada.
And Chris looks to me and he says, Jada, I meant you. I meant no harm. Now, I'm just out of it because I'm really worried about
And what's
Will.
Will doing? He's just sitting there?
And Will's still talking. He's like, he's still, because now he's mad because Chris is talking to me. And I go, Chris, this is about some old shit. And I couldn't really take in his apology.
And we have to acknowledge that the reason, at least I believe, that Will did this after reading his book is that it was actually just more of kind of a knee-jerk reaction that's actually based more in his childhood. Because if you read his book, he talks a lot about how a lot of times he looks in the mirror and sees a coward. And the reason that he feels this way is because growing up, he would see his father beating on his mother. And even though he was just a kid at the time who was pretty much powerless, he always felt bad for never stepping in and telling his dad to stop. And it's almost like he would just freeze up while his other siblings actually would try to help his mom out. And so that's why he said, even as a man, even after he had all these accomplishments, kind of got everything he wanted in life, he would still look in the mirror and see this coward. So I'm sure when that moment went down, especially in front of such a big group of people, it was almost like a PTS thing. And he just not only had to say something, but completely see red and go up there and slap the man. Like I've told you guys this, to me, Will is pretty much an icon. He stars in one of my favorite sitcoms of all time, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Growing up, he was one of the biggest action stars out there. I always look forward to watching his different movies. But I think it's kind of gotten to the point where I can't really feel that bad for him anymore. And so a lot of people are speculating that this old shit she was talking about when she says, like, I'm sorry, Chris, Will was just mad about this old shit, is actually this, okay? They say Jada Pinkett Smith reveals that Chris Rock once asked her out amid Will Smith divorce rumors. He called me and basically he was like, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce? I was like, no, Chris, those are just rumors. He was appalled and he profusely apologized, and that was that. Either way, guys, it is crazy to me that she's come out with all this information about the separation, and also how she was pretty much embarrassed by Will's actions that night, that she was surprised to be called his wife, and that she pretty much felt like he needed to calm down like an angry girl in the club, while this man is out here fighting for his life. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this update down below. The embarrassment of Will Smith seems like it's never really going to come to an end. But as always, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and some other crazy couples out here need to be covered, so I'm out.
This shit got to be the worst. This shit has to be the worst outcome ever. Oh my god. He's trashing the man every day. So how is Drake the most sensitive man alive?
So Drake recently dropped his newest album, For All the Dogs, and the final product was about as polished as the album cover itself. In my opinion, Drake has not released a game-changing or even cohesive record since Views from the Six back in 2016, and that was the last time, to me, it actually sounded like he cared about every song and didn't just pack these albums with filler. Back then, Drake was definitely one of my favorite artists, and his 3-album run with Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, and If You're Reading This Is Too Late, has to be up there with the greatest consecutive album drops of all time. Even a mixtape like So Far Gone is still a classic to me. But since he dropped Views, Drake has gotten more and more lackadaisical with these albums. There might be a song here and there that's worth listening to or adding to a playlist, but at some point the formula does become dry. Like, I'm not saying these albums are bad, but at some point it just all kind of sounds the same. And I feel like there's just a lack of substance and a lack of subject matter that you would usually see from an artist his age. I mean, just listen to a song like Look What You've Done. Drake has not released something that personal in years. Instead, he is now in his mid-30s still rapping about women like it's a teenage love affair, still sneak dissing rappers and random women he's hooked up with, and overall the material has largely remained the same for the greater part of a decade. One could definitely argue that it doesn't matter because he is and will remain one of the most streamed artists in the world, so why would he ever change? But lately it seems like the critics have been getting to Drake on a deeper level. We've always known that he was a sensitive guy, but he really let the words of two people specifically get to him this time. And so one of these people that really hit Drake straight in his ego was no other than Charlemagne the God. These two do have a pretty deep history dating back probably over 10 years at this point. Charlemagne has always been a pretty harsh critic when it comes to Drake, and Drake has also taken shots at Charlemagne over the years, like when he rapped about him bleaching his skin. But it did seem at one point like these two were somewhat friendly. Apparently Drake had sent him some bottles. But now it seems like they once again might have some beef after Charlemagne had made these comments before the album even dropped when Drake released the first single on For All the Dogs. And he essentially said, hey, no one really cares about this song, and possibly there's not a lot of hype for this album.
And it's not a scare because Drake's going to be fine. Drake put out a song last Friday and nobody cared.
What was the song?
The Drake and SZA record.
No, people, that just dropped and people do like
it. Came out last Friday. And it came out last Friday and people just started talking about the lyrics yesterday. And I remember I'm in the group chat and I'm like, damn, Drake put out this record Friday and people just getting to the lyrics on a Monday?
I mean,
that's not Drake like, he's going to be fine. Regardless. I just think that, it's also when you think about, you look at the album cover and you hear the title For All My Dogs, I think we was looking for something a little bit more harder, a little bit more aggressive.
Let's see what happens.
The slow joint with SZA.
Let's see what
Say
happens.
he's bringing the old Drake back though.
Is this old Drake, Alex? You a Drake fan?
Yeah, and Drake is really not rapping to his best ability on this album, or singing for that matter. There is quite a bit of vocals on here, but it just really does not feel like a focused effort. And some of the features he got from some of these artists were just trash. Like, the only real good features on the album are SZA, J. Cole, and 21 Savage. And even on the 21 Savage song, you have to get like 4 minutes deep into that thing, and you have to go through like some horrible skit. Either way, he's really just giving his opinion here. He didn't say anything too crazy, but Drake still got mad and took to Instagram to vent. So first, he posts some screenshots of an old interview that Charlemagne had done with Vlad back in the day, where he says there's 3 sexual orientations out here: straight, it's gay, and it's Drake. And then he says, are you okay, Leonard? You're weirding me out, G. Like you're really obsessed with me or something for years. Like you look in the mirror and you wish you saw my reflection type shit. Whatever you gotta do to lay it out, I'm sure your 435 loyal fans will stand by you, you goof. But obviously, Drake was hurt by his comments, but it does seem like more of a juvenile back and forth here. Maybe Drake thought that was a little bit too mean, so then he hits him with these pictures, kind of like clowning around. Yeah, just making fun of him. The thing is, Drake, how can you make fun of these pictures where they can literally pull you up in blackface right now? Anyway, he says, in deep thought about how you, the off-brand Morris Chestnut, which, is pretty funny, I guess. Either way, that one wasn't that personal. I mean, I guess he's saying that Charlemagne doesn't have a lot of fans out here. Regardless, the real clapback didn't really start until Drake decided to take shots at someone he used to look up to, someone he used to want to emulate when it came to his rap style, and that is no other than Joe Budden. And let's be honest about something. Joe Budden has been one of the biggest Drake meat riders of all time. I wouldn't be surprised if at one time Joe had a secret Drake fan page on Twitter. I mean, they also had the era where he was dropping 14-minute diss records on Drake's head, while Drake in turn was responding with one line. So I guess you could say they've had a back and forth relationship, but overall, Joe has stood in Drake's corner time and time again, and in a lot of ways has essentially propped him up as one of the greatest artists of all time. And obviously, whenever Drake drops an album, Joe makes an entire episode on it for his podcast, and in this latest one, he had some critical words for the Sixth God.
This might be my last rap album review. 98% of y'all sound uninspired. Y'all do sound low effort. There's no new, exciting, creative energy on the way. All of y'all sound like y'all trying to sound like the artists that you like a lot. None of y'all seem to be trying to innovate. I miss the Drake that when he dropped, the rappers hit him. Not these little, I don't give a about you and CuZo. That's going to sound like hate. It is.
And what he's talking about there, for those of you that don't know, is that CuZo, you know, one of the world's most famous streamers, was doing a live reaction to his album the morning it dropped and was like bugging out over this one line about, you know, how all Drake's little homies are streaming or some bullshit like that.
It's not hate. It is. It's not hate. Go find some your age. Hang out with them. Get some of that sauce. Where is the verse that Yachty said is arguably one of the best verses Drake has ever written? It's nowhere on this project.
No.
His top 10,
He don't
20,
even have
30,
the best
40,
verse on his project.
top 50 verses are not on this project. And that's where I recognize I have to let go of Drake. I have to let go. The Drake that I love.
He sounds sad, man.
Was the best hook creator, maker, loner outer of in the world. When is the last what is the last memorable hook you've heard from Drake? I haven't heard a dominant hook from Drake in a long time. So now you couple that with he don't rap the way that he stay scheming, take care. This is like Yachty rapping. This is like he rapping for the children. And that's my dog. I had to look up how old this was when I finished listening to the album. You are 36. Your birthday is in 20 days. I Googled that too. You will be 37 years old. Get the away from some of these younger niggas. I'm want to hear adult Drake rapping for adult people.
No, you're not gonna hear that.
That's my issue with him today.
Well, and that's the difference between the progression of someone like Jay-Z's career and Drake. Like I said, at this point, I think a lot of people did feel like they were going to get more subject matter from Drake, and he's kind of more or less still rapping for like college kids, which is cool. But at some point, it does kind of feel like you're the older guy showing up to the high school games on a Friday night, reminiscing on when you scored that one touchdown.
You're not going to hear that.
He rapping for the kids, the streams,
the Instagram comments, the algorithm. I'm rapping for this.
No, he ain't really rapping. He ain't trying to rap for me.
No, it's not.
And I accept that.
I mean, let's be honest. When Drake put out that it's a right foot slide, left foot step, or whatever the fuck, I think a lot of people knew like the direction his career was going to be going.
I certainly don't want to sound like I'm sitting here complaining. If he don't make another song, I am well fed, pause.
And it's true, Drake does have a very large body of music that, you know, for me personally, throughout different times of the year, I like to throw on his different records. But I think for a lot of people, they're just waiting on that like next Drake classic, and I just don't know if it's ever going to come. I also do want to acknowledge that I did watch the entire podcast episode here, not just this like 2-minute clip that went viral. The full thing is like over an hour. And for the most part, while Joe Budden was critical of the album, he also gave Drake a lot of praise. And a lot of it didn't come off as straight hate. It was more just kind of like advice. But that album review, it must have really just hit Drake right in the feelings. Like it almost feels like the guy who didn't get approval from his older brother once he dropped this comment. So he says, Joe Budden, you have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you were doing in this clip because this what is actually paying your bills. For any artist watching this, just remember you were watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your head had you broke living check to check, and the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you are the GOAT. So he's really trying to come back and hit Joe where it really hurts, which is like this failed rap career. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact, like he's obviously doing right now. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap not because you accomplished all you need to. It's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. This man is a projection of his own self-hate and the fact that I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need it put in simpler terms, I own a 767. I guess that's some sort of jet probably. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions. I mean, I won't lie to you guys. In this situation, it does feel like Drake is taking a massive L. Like to me, the fact that he just released this album, it should be a time for celebration. And you know, he's just on his phone somewhere in some dark room in his mansion, typing out this angry message is pretty hilarious. Like, you know, it struck a chord when we're seeing this type of message. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that when Drake first kind of came into the rap game, he was obviously trying to emulate all of these like well-respected, more underground rappers. And I think he never really got that true respect as an MC. I remember when he was first coming up, there would be all these memes about his career, basically just calling him overly emotional, as you guys saw with the Charlemagne comment about there's straight, there's gay, and then there's Drake. And I think he's always kind of had this chip on his shoulder because those type of people never really gave him the respect that he felt he deserved. And so, of course, with there in that beef, old clips are going to resurface. And people were saying that it was ironic that Drake was talking about 450 men showing up to your show, screwing up their face over your music, when back in the day when he was first on the come up, he was one of those men. There's an old clip from Joe Budden's YouTube channel when he first met Drake, you know, probably over a decade ago.
I'm happy. I'm honored. I'm honored to be around you. Yeah, I got this. Man, I'm genuinely saying it's an honor to be around Joe Budden. It's the first time we've met.
And so that right there was like the bright-eyed Drake on the come up, probably experiencing a bunch of things he never thought would happen. And obviously, like many other artists, you know, at some point you just become jaded to a lot of that. And you probably learn what the industry is kind of all about, and you don't really like it. I mean, I don't know if anyone else is tired of like the mob boss Drake arc, where he's trying to act like he's like the hardest out here in these streets. But to me, it just comes off as a little bit corny when, like, we know where you came from, dude. You were on Degrassi in a wheelchair. Either way, I want to know what you guys think about not only the Drake album, but these whole beefs down below. What do you think about his very aggressive comments? Because to me, he just sounds very hurt. Either way, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. As all know, it's been your boy, Tan Superman, and some other rap beef out here needs to be covered, so I'm out. Peace.
And that's kind of crazy, because I mean, it's kind of, you know, I think he about to come back with some shit. Drake about to come back with some shit, and it's not even like I'm a fan. Like I like Drake music, but I don't think he's gonna come with some weak shit. You know, whatever he dropped gonna be fire, especially with Joe Budden talking all that shit. So anyway, man, y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all for chilling with CuZo.